If you are looking for more Browns mock drafts, more Browns draft content, all that good stuff, hit that thumbs up icon. That way I can measure what you guys are looking for. And if we get over 300 likes on this video, I don't see a reason why we can't do another mock draft next week. Coming up on today's show, we've got a full 7-round mock draft for your Cleveland Browns. Yes, there is no first-round pick for the Brownies, but they still got 7 picks in the chamber, and it's going to be an important draft for Andrew Berry because he's got to hit with a bit of a smaller target, if you will, not having that, elusive and coveted first-round pick. Now, before we look at any names or anything like that, quick refresher. The Browns' 2023 draft arsenal looks like this. They have their own second. They have a comp pick for the 3rd round. That's because of the Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah hire over in Minnesota. They've got a 4th, another 4th from the Texans, a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th. So 7 picks all together. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. When I was on the clock in round number 2, these guys were off the board. So before you throw anything at me because you don't like my 2nd round pick, Josh Downs already taken. That was a bummer. I would have gone that direction. B.J. Ojulari, I think, could just be an absolute gamer. The big defensive tackles everyone's looking for, gone. Kancey and Ika off the table. So, with that being said, at 42 overall, drumroll please, I went Jammie Robinson, the safety out of Florida State. Let's get to know Mr. Robinson a little bit here. He is a hard-hitting safety, one of the hardest-hitting safeties in the league, right? He's also great against the run, which I was looking for in a safety because John Johnson just didn't check that box altogether. And we know Jim Schwartz's defense really thrives when it's got a great free safety. So maybe they go that route in free agency. Maybe they go out and get a Jesse Bates, and they don't need a Robinson. But I think the Browns are actually going to go defensive tackle first in free agency. And if that is the case, which these mock drafts are always tough to do pre-free agency because the team needs will change afterwards. But let's say the Browns go out and get one of those top-tier defensive linemen. Well, then they need to short the safety position. And I think Robinson could step in quite nicely. Last season for the Seminoles, 5 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups, 1 interception, and 99 tackles. Started his collegiate career out at South Carolina, transferred to Tallahassee, and he was one of the best players on this Florida State team. If I've got any Florida State fans watching right now, you can back me up. Robinson, I think, is going to be a home run pick for whichever team takes him in round 2. So with that being said, though, I want to get your input. What position should the Browns target first? Of course, we will know this after the free agency a little bit better, but just right off the bat, what do you think going into the draft has to be priority number 1 for the Browns? Moving on to our 2nd mock draft pick, I went defensive tackle now, Byron Young. Now, it is also a good reminder to say these mock drafts early now, these mock draft simulators, they're going to change post-combine. But for now, Byron Young was on the clock, he was on the market, and I picked him. The 6'3", 292-pound interior defensive lineman, he needs to add some weight. The Browns are looking for a nose tackle, a run-stopping defensive tackle. They went Perrion Winfrey last year because he offered a lot of upside in the pass rushing ability. This year, I think they counterbalance with a defensive tackle who's better against the run, and he feels a big need at that. So he definitely will be a fun name to watch because I think his status, his stock, if you will, is going to rise over the next couple of weeks. But if Byron Young's on the board, I mean, no one expected Perrion Winfrey to be available in round 4. If he's there, I say take him. Now, today's show is sponsored by Magic Spoon, okay? The revolutionary cereal that's changing the game. Say goodbye to sugary processed cereals and hello to delicious, nutritious options that will power you through your day. Magic Spoon is made with high-quality ingredients that's packed with 13 to 14 grams of protein and 0 grams of sugar. Plus, it's gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free, which makes it a perfect option for those following a keto diet. But the best part, in my opinion, Magic Spoon is just delicious. With a variety of flavors like cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter, you'll be able to find your new breakfast option. And at only 140 calories per serving, you can indulge without the guilt. So start your day off right with Magic Spoon. Order your own personalized variety pack today and save $5 by using code CHAT at magicspoon.com/chat or by scanning the QR code on screen. And with a 100% happiness guarantee, you have nothing to lose by giving it a try. Upgrade your breakfast game with Magic Spoon. That's magicspoon.com/chat. I've got that link for everyone in the comments and the description of today's show. Let's get back to Byron Young. In 2022, he had 5.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. He was more of a rotational defensive lineman for the Crimson Tide. But I think if the Browns go anything but defensive tackle with their first selection, they have got to go with their second selection. Moving on with my mock draft. In round number 4, pick 111, I go wide receiver. Not a powerhouse school, the Princeton Tigers, but Andrei Iosivas, I rehearsed it 100 times and still got it wrong. The wide receiver out of Princeton, he's fast. Now, I know what you're going to say to me. We are not running back another track star. We tried that with Anthony Schwartz, and it didn't work. But I am prepared to get hurt again because I think Iosivas might be that guy. He's not just fast, which was kind of Anthony Schwartz's thing, was he would burn you down the field against slow college DBs, but he is great after the catch. And that's what I think separates him and other track stars that aren't so great with the football in their hands. Now, he needs to improve as a run blocker because if teams know when he comes on the field what the play call likely be, that's going to limit his abilities. But I think in round 4, that's worth a flyer. For the Tigers in 2022, 943 yards and 7 touchdowns, an average of 14.3 yards per catch. I think this could be a big-time hit right there in round 4. Moving on to the second pick in round number 4, and this time I go interior offensive line, guard out of UCLA, Atonio Mafi. So when I look at the Cleveland Browns 2023 offensive line depth chart, it's not a whole lot of change, right? I don't think you're picking anyone here to come in and start. But I am not so sold on Nick Harris and Wyatt Teller long-term, future, down the road. Teller signed an extension last season, but Nick Harris or Ethan Posick, I can't say definitively, will be this team's starting center. And I also think it's probably kind of due, right around now is when Andrew Berry goes, all right, we need to find new backup offensive linemen who are going to be under contract as rookies for 4 more years to give us some depth in case of injury. And in day 3 of the draft, you're looking for talent. You're not looking for starters necessarily. And I think Mafi could be that talent they're looking for. Now, we're going to have all your offseason Browns draft content right here at the channel. So if you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. We're going to get you guys the best Cleveland Browns mock drafts, draft rumors, draft targets, all that good stuff. So hit that sub button and join today. This pick I am excited for. It is not the Boston Red Sox star, Jose Ramirez. It is the defensive end out of Eastern Michigan's Jose Ramirez. Now, he's got a really cool story. He's a little bit of a last chance you kind of vibe. Went to Arizona, then he transferred to a JUCO, and he rose the ranks, and he went to ECU, and he dominated this past season. 12 sacks, 19.5 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles. Throw the tape on this guy. I know that it's not your traditional big school, but Jose Ramirez, I think, could be a really good pick where we are not that sold on Alex Wright, right? You know what I mean? Alex Wright, I think, was not very good his rookie season. Just a rookie. He was always viewed as development. But I don't think we should jump into bed with him being the future defensive end opposite of Myles Garrett. Moving on here, we'll kind of round out these last few. After Ramirez, round 6, I went Chris Rodriguez. Why? Because it's round 6, and I'm looking for best player available. This is not a pick to replace Nick Chubb. This is simply, I think Chris Rodriguez is better than where you get your average 6-round running back. So with that being said, if Jerome Ford maybe doesn't work out like we're all hoping for, Rodriguez could be a nice RB2 because they're looking for one right now, and I don't think we should just automatically hand the job to a rookie a sophomore, Jerome Ford. To round out the draft, round 7, the last pick for the Browns, I went Wanya Morris, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. The reason being is they're not looking for a Jack Conklin or a Jedrick Wills replacement. They might be looking for a James Hudson replacement. His rookie contract's going to expire soon. I don't think the Browns are going to be running to bring back a rookie or play off the rookie contract who never really got that much of a chance to show themselves or showcase their skill set. So with that, they may reset and go, all right, Wanya Morris, you're kind of the new James Hudson, right? You're the new 6-man offensive line next season when we lose James Hudson to free agency potentially. That way they're not bringing in a rookie next year to be the first man up if an injury were to occur. Let's take a look at my Browns mock draft one last time, and you guys can grade it in the comments section. I went safety, Jammie Robinson, which I know may not be the sexy pick we're all looking for, but in this mock draft, a lot of the defensive tackles were off the board. We have to be prepared for that possibility. Byron Young from BAMA next. Andrei Iosivas, something like that. I'm so mad at myself. Wide receiver out of Princeton. I legit spent 10 minutes memorizing it. Atonio, Mafi, the guard out of UCLA. Jose Ramirez, great with the bat, but also the football player too, out of Eastern Michigan. Chris Rodriguez and Wanya Morris. I appreciate everyone for tuning into my mock draft. If you haven't already, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what your mock drafts look like, right? Always feel free to DM me, tweet me your mock drafts, whatever it is. We can go back and forth and talk brownies. So hit me up at Matthew PD.